Hello, welcome to another edition of That's Life. I'm your co-host, Thaddeus McCandless, and today we have a very special topic on education.
I'm Brian Harrison, your host, and today we got a very special guest. Let's introduce him.
Douglas Reeves.
All right.
So, what are we going to cover about today?
Well, I'm just people are going to start off right off because by saying that there is some good in education, but what we're focusing on today is not all the good stuff.
The bad.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Everybody thinks that we have to have it. Period. Well, I got an opinion about that. I understand that elementary years are probably they are important because we're developing.
They shape the mold of our
But I'm mainly focusing on college education.
college education.
It's not all like it's cracked up to be. So with our special guest today, he has some great little stories to tell.
Well, I went to college for a quarter, took some training, and when I got to my work, they told me it was not right. They retrained me because it was, they don't teach you in school what you need to.
They don't do hands-on thing.
They don't teach you in school what the requirements for the job are entirely.
Oh yeah. Oh
they
yeah.
add in a lot of stuff that isn't pertinent, and a lot of stuff that in the real world doesn't work.
No, and it's impossible, humanly impossible. And that's what the problem is too, is because they don't. That's why I think they have like some of these technical or what we call them.
Hands-on, I guess, training.
Schools.
Training.
Well, schools. They're schools. Trade schools. Yes, thank you. So and I think we actually need more of that in our colleges because like the reason they're going broke, all this stuff that's going on. If they start training their students to have like, let's say the college owns their own business. I know our college here has like a salon place. They charge $10 to get people haircuts, right? And it helps the students learn how to cut people's hair. And it learns that. Well, I think they can do more, not less, more.
Well, maybe that's why people change their major and minor so much because they if they did more hands-on or more of the trade, they were like, oh, I really want to do this job, or oh, I really don't want to do this job. I'm so glad I didn't spend 4 years of my life and $50,000 later and figure out I don't like this job.
Yeah.
Or, whatever they're going to go into.
That's the problem. I think teachers are paid way more. Some of them are paid way under, but I think they complain too much, at least in college. Because if they're so concerned about paying more, why don't they do more? That's what I would
say to
that. Yes.
So Douglas, did you have some experience with the retraining or anything? Did you see a lot of that when you were at your job? New people that came in?
Yeah, with training, whenever we get new people, we have to retrain them when they went to school. And of course, every place is different. I mean, you got to do some of your own training, but it just seems like that what they teach them in school really
doesn't cut it.
Doesn't cut it. You could learn that what they teach you in school, you learn on the job.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, and I don't know if
they teach you to do it by the book, and
that's about it, right?
That's about it.
That's one company that I worked for, they would like, you have to do it by the book, but then you never get the job done. And I was like, well, I'd be fired before. It would take me, the whole, 2 days to do the job, and I'd be cut.
And that's one. Some companies have done this, and schools think they're so great. But there's a company that was talking to a friend of mine and said, well, all you knew at school is wrong. Throw it out the door before you start working because you're never going to learn anything unless you do it. And I'm going to teach you the right way to do it. And he actually taught more than what the school taught how to do it. And that's what problem with some companies is they go, well, we pay you, we ask you guys to take this on, and yet you aren't doing it. We have to put more of our money into it to train this person because they have to come and be trained and paid to do it. And if you were doing your job right, they would be able to come in here and do it. And so I don't know if you have that experience, but
sometimes. I mean, I wouldn't say that the training I had was bad in the school, but it costs money, and it doesn't. The training, the basic principles work in the real world.
Yeah.
But it costs a lot of money, and basically in the real world, half of what they teach doesn't really work.
Yeah. Well, if I would say this, I wouldn't throw out the complete textbooks. What I would do is I always say this: if I started a school, it would be about you would use a textbook as a resource. If you need to know something extra, you use it so you get extra understanding. But you use your basis by actually helping people. You know, hey, you got to do this job. You got to learn how to help people. You got to learn. This is not just sitting in a classroom. You're learning how to actually lift people. Because I know at some jobs you got to lift things, and so you got to learn. Hey, do I want to do this all the time? Can I do it?
It's like my customer service thing. I took a customer service class in high school. I mean, you could read the book about how to go up to a customer and be nice and deal with an angry customer or something, but
until you actually do it.
But until you actually do it. I mean, I've dealt with some angry customers, and I've said hello and been very nice, and I do it on my job now. Yeah. And you know, you have to do it, otherwise you don't feel comfortable and you don't get used to it.
Yeah.
Well,
there's some things the book can't teach you.
Yes,
you have to do it from personal experience. Otherwise, it doesn't mean a thing.
It's like one of the teachers who I do agree with. He says it's like teaching a kid how to ride a bicycle. You don't read a book on it. You actually have to go out and fall a few times before you learn how to ride a bicycle.
You get on the bicycle and you work the pedals and then you fall down. Oh wow, okay.
Well, I think our time is starting to.
Time is starting to dwindle down, unfortunately, but we may cover this topic in another edition, hopefully. And we hope you rate, comment, subscribe, and send us your topics, and we will try to address those as they come about.
Yeah.
But I'm the co-host, Thaddeus McCandless, and I hope you enjoyed this edition.
And I'm the host, Brian Harrison, and I want to thank Douglas for being here.
Yes, we want to thank our special guest, Douglas, for being here.
We had two special guests already, Christina
and Douglas.
So
and we may have you as a guest on sometime as well too. Yeah. Okay, well that's all for it, and this wraps up That's Life. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.